Hey, Ryan, why don't you pull up Amazon's margins real quick?
Well, I'd have more of a grin on my face than Stephen Hawking on Epstein's Island.
Came off as a smug cock when he said that.
Wow, physical philosophy, you're not very smart at all. You screw up, cash flow kings. Guys. Dissect the UM.
Little late, but you know what they say, Fiscal. May have waited a while, but we're on time. Hello, everybody. It's Saturday. It's 8 p.m. Eastern. Or no, it's not Saturday. It's not 8 p.m. Eastern. It's Friday. It's 8 p.m. Eastern. And guys, unfortunately, we couldn't make it on Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern because I have a graduation, something that Tactical Shoe Shiner can't relate to because he dropped out in the middle school to pursue the career of making hot dogs at Little League games for the rest of his life. But welcome back, everybody. It's good to be here. Fiscal, what are some other things people could be doing on Friday? I think Friday is more of a danger zone than Saturday is, wouldn't you say?
Everybody's up in the club on Fridays, my man.
Everybody's all horned up on Fridays. Not
They're
good
twerking.
stuff.
They're twerking.
Oh,
They're turning the frogs gay. They're twerking. They're drinking massive amounts of, I can only imagine, absinthe and tequila. Probably at
inappropriate
the same
stuff.
time.
Inappropriate stuff.
They're hooking up in the club bathroom.
Oh gosh,
Nasty.
respect the pizza parlor. Am I right? That's a Sopranos.
People poop in there.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
right
that's
now,
what
you don't.
place for the restroom, not love making. That's for sure.
That's right.
Fiscal, you're not sponsored by Prime yet, are you?
I mean, I'm waiting for the email to come.
Logan, hey, we better be careful. We might get sued like CoffeeZilla did, so we can't really say anything bad about Prime. Logan Paul will take the Cashflow Kings LLC to court. Not things we want to be doing right now.
Here's
an
all-
already very stressful time for us here on the Cashflow Kings.
It tastes good, and it gives energy.
What else can you ask for?
Has
But yeah,
flavor.
we apologize, everybody, but we will have a banger of a Saturday next week. It's the High Tide Roundtable. This is a bit of one of those episodes you have circled on from a few months ago. So we have Blake Downer on, potentially, maybe Fabio, Bacon. It's gonna be a good time. Lots of high tide, lots of weed talk. So, kind of stuff that we typically stay away from on Saturdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, but we're gonna be embracing that kind of life. I heard Fiscal, he's gonna be bringing a doobie. He's gonna have we're gonna be, he's gonna have a bong in the background. It's gonna be crazy stuff.
You know it.
But welcoming everybody. Always an interesting time seeing this guy's comments. Every hump day, I think to myself, what will the Cashflow Kings have in store for me this Saturday night, depending on where you are in the world, and what sage wisdom I will gain to get wealthy. And I love QYLD. She's like the ex you've been banging for 20 plus years. Just when you think she's ugly, you realize you've loved her all along, and she's still a smoking babe. Oh, that's
Classic comment.
I
Classic.
know. And while we're on the topic of glasses on, shirts off. Shh. No comment. You saw it there first.
It's funny.
On the way.
I got a UPS package today, and I thought, did my boy surprise me with some of the merch?
No, it would have taken way too long. I had to press them to send it.
That would have been crazy. Did he somehow manage to make it show up the day of the live? The day we hit 500 subscribers and all.
I am the
mastermind.
I tie things behind the scenes. I'm the master of puppets, they say. But yeah, this will be available soon. Little sneak peek, but it will be available soon. Believe it or not, guys, setting up an LLC is a bit of a pain in the ass. So we're still working things out, and YouTube's approving us.
So it's not the setup that's the pain. It's like all the other stuff other than the setup. For example, if you set it up if let's say you're an enterprise like ours where everybody lives in different we live in different areas, right?
Yeah. And
so you have to choose a location for your LLC, and we happen to choose one that's good for privacy and that kind of thing.
Indeed.
Because of the fact that we are sort of face out online people.
Face out, guns out.
We would rather, for example, our home addresses not show up on any filings and that kind of thing.
Especially after episode 32.
The only issue is then you have to figure out where you're going to get your mail delivered.
Yeah.
And, filling out the applications when you have more than one person involved for a bank account, you have to basically fill out, in our case, 3 people's worth of applications for each bank account. And if any of the banks sees anything they don't like about any one of the people, they can, just reject it and not tell you why and that kind of thing. Although we have that
Yeah,
all, sorted
that's
out.
settled out.
Um,
I was caught buying porno magazines online in my credit card recently when I got it and I maxed it out. Some dirty
unbelievable.
mags. I know.
You can't be doing that.
Forgot to tell you that part in the group chat. But welcome in everybody. Ryan, why do you wear the most feminine sunglasses? You couldn't piss out this. I used my SHG dividend to buy half of these, boy. You wish you could have this. No, these are $2 from Temu. Not even. This is probably $1. But yeah, it's all for show, and they actually look pretty swag, in my opinion. Some call feminine, I call it swagger. But let's get our guest in here. It's none other. This is an ending of an era, fiscal for me at least, and the start of a new one. CFK hit 500. We're monetized now. And what better? We didn't even predict this either. What better bring on an OG, somebody who's quite literally been one of the pioneers of when I started. Fiscal, I know you're a bit of a new money, West Egg kind of guy, but no offense, you're a bit of a new, he's an OG, if none other than Pierre from PK Investing, QYLD, Milker on YouTube. Welcome in.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Pierre, I have not heard your voice in a very, very long time.
Tell me, how's my volume? Am I too loud, too soft?
You're all good.
Nice.
Loud and clear.
Welcome in, Pierre, though. This is a long time waiting. We couldn't get him on because of Saturdays, and it actually worked out because he's busy Saturdays. So, I told him we have a Friday available, and here we are. Wild life.
Here we are.
But Pierre, you've been an OG. I remember it was like the OG, the pioneers, you and Frank. Frank's right now in the middle of the Appalachian woods. He's relying on McDonald's Wi-Fi for uploads and communication, but he's off the grid, everybody. So Frank won't be coming on for the 500 special anytime soon. But Pierre, what have you been up to? The people haven't heard from you in a long time.
I've been doing everything but posting on YouTube.
You have a life. I respect it.
What's that?
I get up at the same time every morning. I go to work. I come home, make dinner, relax, and by the time I have any energy to work on a script or edit a video, it's already my bedtime and got to go to bed and do it all again the next day.
Now, if I remember correctly, you were really pumping out the videos in 2020, 2021, correct? Well, you were in college still then, right?
I was, and I had so much dedicated free time to YouTube that I specifically set aside time to work on videos because the whole point was I wanted to get monetized. And so I need the algorithm to kind of work in my favor.
On the Cash Flow Kings, we don't do it for the money, but at the same time, we will take the money.
100%.
Pierre, did you deal with the issue of when you got monetized, you kind of it felt like you'd achieved everything that you set out to do and you lost lost a little motivation, you could say?
Not really. It just so happened. It was all coincidence that by the time I got monetized was close to when I was going to graduate. So I graduated and I got monetized around the same time. And it just so happened that my life just started getting busier and busier. And YouTube had to take a backseat to my day-to-day.
I can respect it. So
I mean, I can relate, especially as of lately, right? I've been going through the long process of finding a place to buy and, going through the mortgage process and all that stuff along with a full-time job it's a lot to juggle. The everyday life of an adult. If you have literally anything extra going on, it really eats into what you can spend posting on YouTube.
Absolutely.
The sad life. I'll have to face reality one day, Fiscal. It's Judgment Day's coming for me. Yeah, no, I've been dealing with the issue of just I don't know if it's not you get the monetization and then after the first couple months, I got $100 this month. Yippee-ki-yay, right? it's nice, but it also isn't at the same time because you feel like you got to slave away so much time, and especially now with YouTube, if you want easy 150 a month, go make a 3 socks a buy video every 36 hours, and there you go, right? Like, I don't love the way that finance YouTube's been. The algorithm kind of is these days. It's very saturated, and that's why we hope the Cash Flow Kings here can add a little spice in it. One could say fiscal.
Yeah, take what is on a good day a pretty dry subject matter and inject a little bit of life into it. Like, how many times can you watch the same, Dave Ramsey, Caleb Hammer, Graham Stephan, Andre G, Meet Kevin? Like, they just literally pump out the same stuff day in and day out, and they don't exactly have the riz, if you know what I mean.
Maybe in jail they will. Jeremy's getting close there. Kevin, you never know. He's got that money. But Pierre, what's been going on with you in terms of the investing side of things? I know you're very simple. Your legendary consolidation a few years ago to 5 positions from like 80.
Oh yeah, now it's only down to 3. So technically 4, but that's coming soon in my next video, which may or may not be releasing in the year 2026. So
what's going to drop first, GTA 6 or Pierre's new video?
Probably GTA 6 at this point, right?
How long does it take for you to like go through a script?
So back in the day
process.
when I was dedicating a full day to YouTube, it would take me about 7 to 8 hours from starting to write the script to having the video published on YouTube.
Ooh.
So that was basically a full work day. And then you have to, keep up with it and make sure the comments are filtered properly and all that good stuff. But a full work day is what it took per video. And I did that every single week to appease the algorithm.
Did you ever think of getting an editor?
Absolutely not. Why would I pay someone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to pay someone to do something that I can do because I'm the only person who can fully realize my vision in a video.
Yeah. I appreciate that. You know what's big these days, and we've kind of milked it, is like the AI. AI shorts and stuff. It's good for us because like it easily our slave editor, who may or may not be in the comment section, we basically have this whole thing, this program that goes through our shows and it finds the best topics and it automatically makes clips, which is really nice. But it's definitely very easy to saturate these days. But we do have some hot topics this week, Fiscal. And do we want to start with anyone in particular? I'll let the comment section determine. Pierre, can I take a guess at your 3 remaining holdings?
Oh, sure. They're pretty public.
Okay, J&J.
No, that one's gone. No, I'm messing with you. That's the number 1. That's the OG.
Wow, I was gonna say
no way.
There's no J&J. McDonald's.
No, actually, no.
Okay.
That's gone.
PG.
You got it. Yep.
Oh, there's one more. I don't know.
It's Microsoft.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
How are you like less nervous or like over? How are you like emotionally wise with less holdings?
It feels the same. Honestly, I'm just more grateful that I can dedicate less time to having to do a bunch of research.
Yeah.
Only having to keep tabs on 3 companies, it's much easier than having to keep tabs on 25, or I've seen folks with 50 plus position in their portfolio. And I'm like, at that point, just get an ETF.
Yeah. I know. I don't think it's like at a certain point, it's not feasible to keep good track of that.
Right.
Like the average person could, maybe 6 or 7, like, and really, really keep track of them if you have any kind of a life before it gets to be unfeasible, right?
Absolutely.
All right, let's get into the topics of the week because this is going to be interesting. Do we want to start with MPW, Walgreens, or Nike?
The Walgreens is my bread and butter.
Yeah, let's.
Did you used to own Walgreens back at the day?
No, but
Oh.
I used to work in a pharmacy. I worked there for 8 years at a pharmacy, not Walgreens.
Ooh.
But I had a lot of dealing with Walgreens, so I'm not surprised that they are where they are.
Yeah, I feel like it was honestly pretty unpredictable of how rapid like the store experience is kind of declined and like that kind of retail. You know what I mean?
Yeah. As Fabio said, when retail goes bad, it goes bad fast.
Quote of the year.
Quote of the year. So by the way, as of today, I'm no longer in Walgreens. So
wow. Well, you just bit the bullet.
So yeah, I mean, the day that the big drop happened on earnings, I didn't take any immediate action. I gave myself a cooling down period so that I was sure it wasn't an emotional based thing, and it luckily it came back up like a tiny bit before I sold. So
that extra 2%'s big difference.
I mean, I'll take anything right now. So it's just one of those things where it's like I'm thinking it over. It's like, hey, I decided see where things are going with this new CEO and stuff, and you could argue maybe I haven't given him enough time or anything, but it's like. It seems like he took over and not like what has changed for the better. Where's the vision? I'm just not like, where is it? If I'm not seeing it by this point, like who's to say that next quarter would be any better,
Roz Brewer is a pansy of a CEO. She abandoned ship. Disgusting.
And hey, maybe, I still hope, for anyone that has the stock, that they do manage to figure some things out. And I don't think necessarily that it's going to zero, but I think the market isn't going to like them for quite some time. And it's going to suffer down in the dumps for quite a while before it even thinks about starting to have any kind of recovery. And I just don't think I want to be there for that journey. I think I have better things to focus on. So
how big of a position was it for you again?
It was down to 2% by the time I got rid of it. So, yeah.
Oof.
It started out as quite a lot more than that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What's the big lesson you think you took away from this?
So, so Walgreens was one of my earliest buys. So I think I learned that, and I think I probably learned this quite a lot before today, but the designation of something being at the time, dividend aristocrat doesn't mean that it's safe and stable necessarily. I think that we learned that with both Walgreens and 3M and Leggett and Platt more recently.
Oh, geez, remember
that dividend aristocrat thing. Like everybody likes to say it and brag about it and whatever when they have it, but it legitimately does not make it a safe investment or a stable investment, or it doesn't make it a good. Oh, it's a good safe buy. It'll just sit here and compound. It doesn't mean that for sure. The other thing is, I think that you can DCF your way into thinking something that isn't a great thing is a good deal, because at the end of the day, if it's based on faulty assumptions, the model is only as good as what you put into it. Yeah. And if you take management at face value that they're going to do all this stuff with their healthcare business, for example, which that was part of the problem, is it seems like they're kind of backing away from their Village MD thing. And that was one of the things that I thought had potential with Walgreens. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, well, if that was one of the things that was keeping me around and they're backing away from it, what am I still doing? Right.
And the retail is nothing to write home about with Walgreens.
No, right. And
that's gotten smoked with theft.
Yeah. The whole idea was the Village MD thing was like, hey, it's like primary care, right? You go to your doctor and it's like, oh, if he writes you a prescription, guess what's right outside the store where you can get your prescription filled and pick up some laundry detergent while you're at it. Seemed like it, possibly was a good idea, but so hasn't really produced any extra cash flow or returns. and it seems like they're backing away. I think I read that they're no longer going to be the majority stakeholder or shareholder or whatever in Village, which, if that's the case, and it seems like they're kind of like divesting it or whatever, or selling some of it off. Okay, then where's my upside going to be coming from them? Like, they brought on a healthcare guy, I thought, to revitalize that part of the business.
The retail.
It's just, it seems like there's like no direction or vision or anything. So like,
well, if you're looking for a retail company with direction and vision, I know the company for you, Fiscal.
Is it Target?
I know a guy. It could be. It very well could be.
So yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely a lot of lessons from, Walgreens, and I will happily, well, maybe not happily, but I will definitely, I will acknowledge probably like going to be like a long run, probably like a top 3 mistake unless MPW goes to 0.
I sold my Walgreens a while back before the recent plummet, and it does seem like, although it will probably recover one day, there are brighter places. See, I'm even having questions of whether they'll recover, honestly, at this point, with how many stores they're closing.
Well, if those are unprofitable stores, though,
yeah,
I don't necessarily view stores like, if you have a bunch of crappy stores that are losing money every month, like, what are they still open for? Yeah, get rid of the stores that aren't performing, keep the ones that are.
But if that's the case, also, I don't see them recovering to where they were, even with those good stores.
Yes, that is an issue, right? If you're reaching a point where you do have a lot of underperforming stores, what makes you think that same thing can't happen to the rest at some point, right?
Something I was interested in was Realty Income, because they actually had a lot of exposure to Walgreens, some of their top tenants, if I believe, and I'm fact checking it right now.
Walgreens is like their second largest, I think.
That's not good. Let's see. Yeah, Walgreens at 3.4%. It's technically their largest. Yeah, that's honestly a bit of a concern. Like, that kind of retail, like, I know it's probably not going to die, but like, I've seen definitely a decline in the last few years that I did not expect.
And I'll tell you. So, and this is probably an effect of my age a little bit. So, I kind of like started kind of like becoming an adult around the time Walgreens was really peaking
40 years ago.
I remember neighborhoods where I'm from where there were parts of town where literally the only store you could go to for like basic everyday essentials, like close by without having to drive literally like 20 minutes all the way across town, was Walgreens in a lot of neighborhoods. And it's like, it seemed like, hey, that's a pretty good business model. But now in an Amazon world and everything, I think our thinking maybe needs to readjust a little bit.
I've really seen a decline in the quality of my experience at my local Walgreens, which could just be mine, but like, it was nice like a good 5 years ago. Like, I remember I would, this is a funny story, but back when I was a little plus sized, one could say, back in the day, I would sneak out. I'd get a bunch of quarters and I'd bike up to the Walgreens and I'd buy a bunch of Hostess treats and I'd take them home, Swedish fish. It was a good day. And it was a fun time at the Walgreens. The customer service was better, but now I go back there very rarely. But when I do, it's always a dump. Not a lot of employees. Items are scattered everywhere.
It's funny. Like, I pass, like on my commute where I'm at now, I pass one. It's actually one of the ones that has a Village MD on it, and it looks really nice. It's like a really nice brick building. It looks like
I know what you mean.
Yeah. And it's like, I pass that every single day, and it's like, but I think with them, it's a mixed bag. Some of their locations are probably great, and some are probably run down and terrible.
Yeah. And I think Walgreens is a company that has a lot more stores in bad areas, that kind of the theft was a lot more rampant.
Yeah, I do think. Yeah, I think that. I think they maybe got a little too big to where they had too many Walgreens in like too many random locations. Maybe they weren't as strategic about their expansion as they maybe could have been, or maybe some of the areas weren't terrible and then got worse over time. Because they do super long-term leases too.
Yeah.
Right. And the neighborhood demographics and stuff can definitely change. Crime stats can change over time and stuff. So yeah.
I'm looking at I wonder if Realty Income had any reaction. They were only down. Okay, not really. They were only down like 0.5% this week. But yeah, I mean that's my Realty Income conviction's definitely lowered a lot over the last couple of years. You could say.
Oh, sure.
Me and Pierre were around when we're that OG that we were around when it was cool to own like 3M. Like
Oh my
3M
God.
and Walgreens were the bomb.
Yeah,
literally not Walgreens. Not Walgreens.
Yeah. Walgreens was at least like respected. Now it's just a joke.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
Respected.
Sure.
So literally, like when I first started, before I bought any stock, like I watched YouTube as like one of the things that I was doing while I was kind of thinking about, should I start buying stocks? And when I first started watching finance YouTube, the first videos I saw were people, focused on dividend investing.
Holy smokers!
It was, 3M, Realty Income, not as much Walgreens, but there were definitely some people that were like, oh, it's a dividend aristocrat. It's
J&J,
great.
say it. J&J.
J&J, yeah.
Here's the J&J cult leader. He's the cult leader.
Oh my God, I love J&J.
At least J&J's like flat.
They're
Altria,
up like 5% over 5 years. I'll take it.
Altria got some love for sure from a bunch of people. Maine, I think, was one that people. It pays monthly, just like Realty Income, so it's got to be good. QYLD, as far as
Boy,
we just got 15 new viewers in the stream. Wow.
QYLD was new back then too, and it was like it pays monthly. It's covered call. It's awesome.
You can't lose.
Yeah, you can't
Here
lose.
was the QYLD shill.
Every other video
QYLD is why I got
much
monetized.
money off that.
And then Jeppy came along, and everybody was making videos about that. So, but yeah, the dividend aristocrats especially got a lot of love. Gosh, people were even pumping utilities like Southern Company and stuff back then too.
Southern.
It's still kind of good.
It's just there.
It's okay.
Yeah,
I want to see how it is. It's $77.
But I can't remember the last time I saw a YouTube video about a utility other than maybe Nextera Energy.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to talk about in that department. Oh, they have nuclear energy. That's the only thing I know about Southern is that they had a lot of investments in nuclear. No comment. Yeah, Pierre was the QYLD shell. He had that unlocked. Man. That's how OG we are. It's kind of getting sad now. It was like 4 years ago now that. Christ.
Yeah, that's how I got monetized. QYLD, just pumping out QYLD videos.
You used to own it too. You used to own a big amount.
I did. I had a lot of money in QYLD, and luckily I was able to kind of get out and almost break even before it all just went down the toilet.
You get your dividends, your free money.
My money printer, it broke. It ran out of ink.
Can you imagine if Yield Max had been around back then?
Oh God.
We got to get like a Yield Max if it's ever going to go QYLD mode. We got to get some betting odds up there.
It'll implode sooner or later.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time.
I'm not going to say I feel bad about
other people's money eventually.
Yeah. There we go, Steve. I like that. Click the like button. What I like to see. QYLD yield is too low. See, the people don't know what it is. This is sad. Pierre, do you want to explain what it is?
Oh shoot! It was like a covered call ETF, and it was like what did it
NASDAQ 100?
Right, the NASDAQ 100, and it was basically all the big tech stocks, and it just did covered calls on them, and it had like a 12% yield and paid monthly. Yeah, and it was too good to be true.
And it sold them at the money though. That's the problem.
Right. Yeah. Right. And then the whole we'll return your it was a what was it? A return on capital, but then it ended up just being taxed at normal ordinary.
Do they not pay the dividends?
So covered call ETFs, the dividend yield doesn't show up properly.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah. Probably because it's not actually a dividend. But
Right.
Ooh,
It's a
that's
distribution.
not going to be a popular
Yeah.
opinion.
yeah,
Oh, this is a good one. SCHD overrated or hated from both of you. I want to answer in the chat.
overrated.
Yeah. I think it is overrated.
Literally,
So
pick
sick
any
world out there.
random like 40 or 50 dividend stocks that you kind of like,
Yep.
and have them at like equal weight or whatever, and you'll probably do about as well as SCHD. Like,
Yep.
yeah.
The hate's real out here.
Sorry, not sorry.
Oh no! Now I have the dark side on me. Well, Fabio, you tell me what are some good options to put the SHD money into. Then I'm gonna get a nice check from them on July 1st. I can do a lot of things with that check.
Dude, put it into high tide.
I'll get like a 8% return for like $3. Real nice. What a treat! Oh, a free Starbucks right there. Oh. Let's see. Yeah. We have slave editor in the back to work, boy. Back to work. This is a good comment from Cooper. Rite Aid, CVS, and Walgreens, all the same business model, and Rite Aid recently went bankrupt. Pharmacies are, yeah, absolutely.
So, except CVS owns Aetna, so they're probably a lot better off than the other two from that perspective. Sure. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I like that kind of retail died a lot
but
faster
actually,
than I thought it would.
I mean, you're right. I think my mindset has shifted to where I almost maybe just don't even want to go near most traditional brick and mortar retail anymore. And by traditional, I mean like whether it be Walgreens or Kroger, Target, even Walmart. Although Walmart, they're pretty. I mean,
Kroger's actually a pretty interesting play. I got Fabio under Kroger. It's actually getting like value-wise, it's interesting.
Yeah, is it down or something recently?
Yeah, it's down a little bit. It's about like probably 10% maybe. It's from 49. It's interesting. It's a play off the Albertsons acquisition basically. And they just announced a dividend increase of 10% this week. Yeah, imagine that. Imagine in June getting a 10% dividend increase. You can't do that with Walgreens and MPW. Can't do that.
I will say I do shop there sometimes. I actually recently got a Sam's Club membership. That's pretty sweet.
Are you using the company credit card for it? Rewards got to come somewhere.
No, I'm just using my personal stuff for so I'm thinking about getting a Costco membership as well to like compare and contrast, but
they're really similar.
All right, I gotta clarify that. I gotta clear the air. With SHD, I currently own $2,100 worth of it, roughly.
Oof, that's a lot of SHD.
I know. My portfolio about 24K almost now. Hopefully some grad money tomorrow. Nice. Some of that dividend dude stimulus check come in. You know what I mean? Get the portfolio up in value a little bit. Whether we earn some of it or not, that's not for debate. The goal with SHD, I've said this repeatedly. 10, 15 years, where am I going to be? I'm going to be 30 to 35 years old. What would I like to be doing at 30, 35 years old? I'd like to be going to Vegas regularly. Enjoying some of the scenery there, doing a little bit of gaming potentially, some other back alleyway stuff. Anything happens in Vegas, guys. And there's money that has to be there from somewhere. The SHD play, you're going to get some decent capital appreciation with it. I'm not expecting the outperform the market like that dumbass finance guy on Twitter who showed a price return of SHD versus VU and tried to make some point out of it for clicks. That's a whole nother topic we can get to. The goal is to get some decent capital appreciation, let the dividend snowball kind of kick into play, and use the money for vacations. That's kind of what it is. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry for owning SHD. My bad. I'm building up the SHG. And the SHG potential is going to offset any of those underperformance from SHD. But I'm hoping to average in a lot lower with SHD when I'm doing my current buying. So I apologize for owning it, everybody.
I guess, I don't know. It's weird to me because it's like if you have SCHD and SCHG, doesn't the average of those two things come out to more or less be like the S&P 500? Because one's growth, one's income.
Ideally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So why not just then skip it and go to SPY or VOO?
Get your divvies from fucking SCHD.
But if you have equal amounts of both, the overall yield in your portfolio, like if it was half SCHG, half SCHD, like wouldn't it roughly end up kind of the same?
I'd have to do the math.
Yeah, like does
VOO give you a 24% increase of the dividend, a supplemented dividend? It's like creatine. It's supplemental.
It could be that you're basically getting like the same total return as the S&P 500 by doing those two funds, but with more steps.
Hey, let's not forget, before this whole little NVIDIA craze happened, SHD was actually outperforming for a decent amount of time throughout 2021, 2022, and a little 2023. Let's not forget.
Maybe we should short NVIDIA.
You should.
That'll turn out well.
That's where the cash flow-kings LLC funds are going to go towards. I'm not expecting to outperform the market, everybody. I'm going to have somebody on my ours may come on next week about it too. I already know. I should retract my invitation to use it for like vacation. I already said vacations, experiential stuff, and cool shit. What if I want to get a car one day? I want to get a Lambo. I could rent out a Lambo.
No,
maybe,
please.
and I can rent out a Lambo and say that I own 7 of them. You know, anything. Fiscal's never been to it. Have you never been to a Costco?
No, I've never been to Costco.
I think Fiscal. I mean, it's not crazy math, you know.
Yeah.
You get your divvies from SHD, you get the growth, and you get the total return of VOO.
But then what's the expense ratio?
Fuck. The
The
expense ratio isn't crazy, but I understand when, you know, you're like me, you have a large sum of wealth, it can't add up. The compounding effect takes place.
Mm-hmm.
The 24, I get it. I understand, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking to buy VOO in the Roth, by the way, once, you know, the Cash Flow Kings LLC payouts actually hit and I can start the Roth.
Yes.
Don't tell the government, but I may or may not be being paid under counter. I got to enjoy the Vici Properties experience. Speaking of Vici, I recently surpassed 70 shares this week.
So speaking of Vegas, I heard they're closing the Mirage.
They are?
That's what I heard.
I'll do some due diligence right now.
I don't know if that's a Vici property or not, but
At the top of my head, Mirage Vegas. All right, I gotta see if they do. Do they own it? Is the Mirage still closing? It will close entirely July 17th and reopen by the end of May 2027. It plans to be a shutdown and reopening, not a phased and restart. So it looks like they're just doing a bunch of renovations to it and opening in 3 years. Now I got to see.
that's where you get your due diligence from, right here on the Cash Flow.
They do own the Mirage, but I don't think that shouldn't be an issue because they already have long-term leases set up, and I'm sure they already.
Oh yeah,
those plans have been accounted for, I'm sure.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was going to necessarily be a problem. It's just interesting.
Yeah, the Vegas trip. I'm telling you guys, we're gonna do a Cash Flow Kings or Ryan Dengler Show Discord meet up in Vegas when I turn 21, and stuff could go down. So be ready, everybody. You're gonna think differently of me after the trip. After me and Bacon memes get into the club, stuff goes down. I'm just gotta say.
So we've already talked about what we're gonna do in Vegas when our MPW prints.
Oh. Speaking of Vegas and other substances that go around, uncertified financial arouser comes. They're doing a loan to the Mirage also. Good interest. See, that's.
I don't know.
He's immune to interest rates, Fiscal, because they use them towards their advantage now.
MPW loans money to their tenants and gets criticized for it. I don't know.
But it's not cool. Though, because it's not Vici. Not the 5-year chart isn't looking good.
The 5-year chart's really not.
I was getting legit pressed over comments about the 5-year chart joke. I made an SHD video and it did stupid well. And I said the pinned comment I said was like the 5-year chart thing's a joke, and I got like 3 comments responding why. I'm like, oh no. I was like, if the 5-year chart goes up, that means it is a good or bad company.
5-year chart's everything.
No, you'll walk there if you want to come.
There's literally no other research you need to buy stuff other than the 5-year chart. Why do people keep saying other things matter?
UFA, when's the next video coming out, man? I'd assume he's talking to Pierre.
Oh, I'm actually working on a script right now. I try to do like 20 minutes a night. Started a couple weeks ago. So hopefully I'll have that script written out, recorded, and edited. I'm trying to do before the end of July, because it'll be a really good timing with the end of the second quarter of 2024, so I can cram a lot of information in there.
Would you ever consider doing, like, I don't want to say one take content, but like, you know, that kind of style of, you know, maybe just talking and doing it more as like a passion project? I know you care about editing and like production value, but at the same time, like, the people want to see you, Pierre.
Yeah, I feel like if I just, I might have to try it one time just to see what kind of how it's received, basically. But I am a big fan of putting time and effort into making a project that you can be proud of, even if it doesn't get as many views. I do it for me at the end of the day.
Maybe some other finance channels should take a page out of that. I can respect that.
Certain people who live off the NHS, right? The British.
Nobody specifically. I couldn't even imagine Steve doing anything bad in Vegas. You know, the worst thing Steve would do is see is a rated R movie, maybe PG-13. I'm joking, Steve.
Hang out with me for a few days and I'll have you doing bad things.
Oh, you naughty boy.
It's fun to do bad things.
Our editor wanted us to talk about the Trump and Biden debate, and I will.
Oh, yes, here we go.
What did you guys like it? Who watched it here?
So
I definitely did.
I didn't watch it, but I saw a few select clips. It's a fun. I was laughing. I was like literally uncontrollably laughing in my bedroom like a maniac last night. Like I let a few of the clips like kind of just play on YouTube while I was kind of drifting off to sleep last night, and I could it was absolutely hilarious. Comedy gold.
I think that my favorite part was when they were arguing about golf swings. Trust me, I've seen his golf swing. It's very bad. He couldn't hit it 100 yards. I bet he could.
Have you seen the And I'm not trying, and I'm literally, I promise I'm not trying to be political when I say this, but the cope from the Biden Twitter account today was pathetic. Like, I may not walk as good as I used to, but it's like that's a bad look, man.
You can't admit it, you know,
completely without injecting any of my what my views may or may not be. Like, that's a real bad look, man.
Fiscal can't even vote too. He's a convicted felon.
Wait, can Donald Trump not vote for himself now?
No, I think he
can he vote?
So, by the way, that's a misconception. Like, just because you're a felon doesn't
it now.
No, just because you're a felon doesn't automatically disenfranchise you. It depends on which jurisdiction you live in. So, because I think that's like a state by state.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So just because, so not every state does that. So I don't know. Isn't he technically a Florida resident? They're probably cool with whatever down there. They're crazy.
Nah, the best part was the golf swings for sure, but the after reactions, it seemed like Twitter was just amazing. Like, he may not walk as he's like good to. Like, you don't admit that, dude. Like, you mess up on something, you don't double down.
Here's the thing. The opinion / news politics people, basically they said in the lead up that Biden had to avoid appearing like too frail and senile, basically, and Trump had to avoid seeming like too much of a dick. And it's like everybody failed on all counts, from what I understand. But
I don't know. Having the mic muted was a pretty good idea.
I actually thought CNN ran it really well.
Yeah, for
from
sure.
What I saw. And frankly, CNN is fake news. We all know that. It's fake news. There's a nasty woman who runs it. She's nasty.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, they're owned by Warner Brothers Discovery, so
I know. I know
hope my
that.
stock gets pumped from the debate.
Biden, yeah, I know that both of the Biden and Trump I saw were posting during the live. Yeah, I think the funniest thing with the Biden Twitter was the Karine Jacques, whatever her name is. I don't like her. She's annoying. She just pisses me off in general. But she accidentally made a tweet on her account that should have gone on the Biden account, and it was like, it's rather 4 more years of this guy over this guy who has the morals of an alley cat, or it's me again. And it was she posted on the wrong account, and she was like 10 minutes late to deleting it. So
that's cringe.
Whoops.
That's super cringe.
I completely agree with you, PP. I thought it was much more tame compared to like 4 years ago was crazy. That was a wild time.
Yeah, from what I saw, like there were definitely like the back and forth jabs, but it wasn't like just a contest to try to talk over each other, at least. Yeah. Which it was a complete shit show 4 years ago. Let's be honest.
I like it when it's like that. It's just more entertaining. There's our shorts for our editor this week. But this is another topic I definitely want to talk about because I am the Messiah. I'm an investing guru. I'd like for you to buy my course. The link's in the description because I sold Nike before it happened. I predicted this. I knew inside. For legal reasons, that's a joke. The Nike fallen overreaction. At the end of the day, Nike is one of the best brands in the entire world. Their stock price is down 20% today, which is actually impressive. But a lot of growth has been priced in for a while. I'm interested. Fiscal, this is like reaching cigar butt town for you.
What, Nike?
Are you actually interested? 20% a lot in one day.
So isn't it like, all right, so prior to the drop, wasn't it trading at like a 30x multiple with like no growth? And is it now not just like a
That's what I'm saying. I gotta look at all the DCFs and stuff. Like
I'm sorry, but like I get that there's like a moat and stuff like that. And for I guess a quote unquote, it's kind of like the Coca-Cola of shoes or whatever, sure, but I'm not in Coca-Cola either, even though I love it, right?
It's down 57% from its all-time highs. It's reaching that territory for stocks you like.
Those all-time highs were
inflated. They were bad.
That's as stupid as $300 for PayPal, my friend. That's as stupid as $300 for PayPal. There's just no universe where it made sense for Nike to be, what was it, like 200 or something a share?
177.
Like 177. Yeah. That never made sense, ever. And it's just ridiculous what people were bidding up the price on. And I think all of that was based on like, oh, they're going direct to consumer now, so it's going to be amazing.
That didn't go well.
They're direct
Dividend dude said that he was considering selling out of his entire Crocs position going into Nike. I swear to God.
I hope not.
Yeah, I know. I don't know where I'd have to get back in at. Like from what I saw, the reason that it dipped was they lowered guidance.
Yeah,
so I think a loss next year.
I'll tell you what. If it falls in half from here, I'll definitely buy some.
All right, I'll join you. Because I have no reason to own it. Like there's no reason for me, especially now. Like I wouldn't even buy a lot if I did. Like I own a very small position. I just got out of it before this crazy decline.
By the way, unlike the Starbucks $75 thing, I don't really think Nike is likely to fall in half at any point. But I mean, it's not impossible though. Yeah. It just, I don't think it's going to happen. So I don't see myself getting into Nike.
Sorry for the Warren Buffett quote, but I'm going to use it. It's better to buy a great business at a good price than a good business at a great price. And that's how he feels about Nike right now. Great business. I mean, there's just not, the growth is definitely a question mark. I think like their growth has definitely been slowing down recently. Like it's a really good business, but where's the future growth going to come from? You know?
Yeah. For sure.
There we go. Made sense. Like, yeah. Like the multiples are probably still ridiculous too. Like let's look.
Yeah.
P ratio of 22.17. Yeah. It is a dividend yield of
that's not as bad. Honestly, 22 isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it's around there, I thought. Yeah, I mean, maybe below 50 or maybe below 60 I'd look heavier, but like I just don't see that as a stock that like, you know, it's not like a Visa where it's like I'll just buy and piss off for a long time and let it gain a lot of money.
if it was a 15 or 16 PE, even if they only had like really low growth, yeah, probably an okay buy because of the moat and everything.
I'll buy if you buy, Fiscal. We'll make that agreement here.
Okay. Well, you know it's going to be well in cigar butt town if I'm buying.
I know it's bad. Nobody was on topic. Let's see. They both lost their powers. I did buy SHG. That's where I put the Nike money into, Lincoln. Take it back.
Should have put it in J&J.
Oh, I sold out of J&J. You know that fear. I sold out of J&J.
I'm pretty sure I bought the shares that you sold.
Oh, where did you buy?
Fidelity.
There you go. Not technically, but yeah. J&J wasn't doing it for me, respectfully. It's like guaranteed a 4%. You get your 4% dividend increase every year. And, you know, I just don't see it outperforming the market. And at this point in my investing journey, with exception SHD, every company I'm looking for is one of those companies. That or recovery play.
I don't know. I feel like with the recent spinoff, and they're just dumping money into R&D and acquiring other labs and stuff. I think they've got a pretty good future in about 5 to 10 years. It might take a while to realize all that growth, but I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, I'd reckon you're pretty confident. You're going to be confident till the day you die with J&J.
Oh yeah. All the time I spent in healthcare really turned me on to them.
Nike has about 5% growth, and after you do inflation, it's like 1 or 2%, and it trades at a 24 forward PE. Campaign, yeah. The brand is good, but like at that point, like
needs to be a lot cheaper or have better growth.
SHG, buddy, I get the max. I feel like everybody's gonna love SHD when in the AI bubble pops one day. I hate to predict everything, but Nvidia is gonna have to come down at some point. I feel like when it goes down, there's gonna be a massive overreaction from everything else. You can go down 10%, and I think everybody's gonna say we're in a crash again. So I mean, like, I swear to God, like it ain't no joke.
People don't have the stomach for their stock. People don't have the stomach to withstand their stocks going down a little bit these days.
Yeah. You know, Fiscal, what price would you be interested at Visa at? I know that's not Cigar Butt City.
Gosh, where is Visa now?
It's $265.
Oh, that's not like ridiculously expensive.
It's fair price. It's fair price looking at earnings.
Yeah, I think the problem with Visa is that, all right, they do really well, but it always seems like the market's always pricing in how well they're going to do, and it's hard to get any kind of a discount on it. So that's the challenge with Visa. And what kind of growth do we really project for Visa?
It's good.
But how about like percentage wise?
Future. I'll look right now. That's good. Like, I'll give you, I don't know if you want to go off the last 10 years.
Well, top and bottom line, like what are we looking at for the next few years?
Next few years?
Yeah.
Put in 12.2%.
Top line or bottom line?
What do you think?
You think top and line? I mean, their margins are really stable, so maybe top and bottom line grow about.
I'd say top and bottom line, but roughly same. They have an 80% gross margin, which is absolutely crazy.
And their net margin's like 50%, isn't it?
It's all ridiculous.
Yeah, and it doesn't, like, I don't think it changes much. So, yeah, I mean, if their growth is that great, then the problem is that you're paying basically fair value for the earnings that they're going to be at 3 or 4 years down the line. Is what I think it is, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know. That's any pullback though. Like if it got back down to like 225, something like that.
That's like, a lot. That's a higher than I thought you'd go.
You know, I mean, I have like a tiny little bit because my subscribers voted for me to buy it back in the day. Yeah,
Well,
that was mainly driven by you. So I have like I think it's like 1 share or something. But
that and Starbucks. A lot more
hey,
money you made from those two than Walgreens.
yeah, it's touche. So yeah, Visa is definitely like, it's a great company, and I think it's very, very difficult to really damage them in any significant way. Like there's not like there's maybe the possibility remotely of MasterCard taking 1 or 2% of their market share at some point, but it's kind of, that's kind of like a Coke and Pepsi thing though. Like
Yeah.
they'll keep tug of warring over 1 or 2% market share, but they'll both grow as the addressable market grows, right?
Yeah.
So it's, yeah, I don't know. It's pretty frothy, but a good pullback might make for a good opportunity on it.
That's right, Eric. Stop with you are hurting my feelings. That's right. Oh, all right. We're at the 1 hour mark, everybody. I'll give you guys the 2-minute warning. If you have any remaining questions, comments, concerns, me and Fisk will have a lengthy 2-week weekly recap to catch up on after this. That'll be fun. Once again, thank you all for 500 subscribers. Obviously, it's a big milestone. That's halfway to the big one, Gino. Means we can start gouging you guys for money hopefully soon if YouTube actually approves our stuff and everything gets signed up for our treasurer fiscal philosophy over here. But yeah, it's very eye-opening to see the kind of process that goes on when you're a business owner.
It's true. There's a lot of there's a lot of like little minutia that need to be dealt with, but it's a valuable learning experience, I think, for everybody involved.
Oh, so lastly, I need to talk about a finance guy because this guy's an absolute twerp. I can't stand this guy anymore. Nobody likes him.
He's gonna block you again, man.
Oh, got me there. I'm convinced he was dropped on his head as a kid.
Dude, he has a 6-figure net worth.
His finance inspirations and influences are Graham Stephan and Dave Ramsey. Those were 2 of the names that were pretty eye-catching when I saw the tweet.
Yeah.
Convince me next week, Lincoln. Get Fabio or somebody to come on and convince me on the High Tide Roundtable. But yeah, this guy, he makes a SHD post, and he's comparing the 5-year chart of the price return compared to the S&P 500 with SHD. Do you think that's a very fair comparison?
If the chart didn't include reinvesting the dividends, then that's regarded, regarded.
It was price return, not total return. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, then that's quite regarded.
Yeah, very regarded.
Yeah.
We're on that monetization arc now. We can't cover.
Yeah, I'm toning it down a little bit.
Get them on then. Get the cult after me. I'm gonna be laughing my way to the bank.
You know what? By the way, everybody, I want, if you're like watching this later or after the video, whatever, click on it and go down in the comments and tell me what you want to see in the background of my studio. I want to
see bongs. I want to see a bunch of bongs for the High Tide Roundtable.
This room,
buy a bunch of them.
This room is literally only used for both YouTube and like my job.
You should get it. You know what you should invest in? This is probably a lot of money. But if we ever get to that level, you should get a bunch of those the sound blockers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The
cool
stuff
wall
on the walls.
Yeah, you get a cool looking wall.
Yeah. Honestly,
it's a pain in the ass if you bring a lady friend home and she sees that, but that's about it. Sacrifice has got to be made.
Yeah, those might be a better investment in the bedroom now that you mention it.
Oh, I set you up there.
I've already seen a little bit of use out of it, even though I just closed on the place a little bit ago.
I miss Fiscal's Italian night out. I think maybe for a special episode, he's got to bring back the old Venice background.
Yeah, and that picture was taken by me in Venice in 2018. Yeah.
Oh, this is actually a really good comment. A giant poster of Norm Macdonald. When making a business expenses that apply to both channels, say a microphone, how do you guys split the write-off? I'm kind of in a weird spot right now because I made my AdSense account. May or may not be under my name. We're kind of working on that transition still.
So
I'll let Fiscal answer.
So my personal take, with regards to that is, I would say, if we're buying things that see use on our individual channels, I think that's just a personal thing.
Yeah.
But if we're buying something that is specifically for use on CFK, then we'll buy
That's
it from
business, yeah.
and it's bought from that account and it's specifically a CFK expense, then that's where we
Yeah.
put
Like
categorize
our
it.
StreamYard will probably be once we have to redo it.
The StreamYard, the premium StreamYard, I don't use that at all on my personal channel. Hey, maybe we roll our personal channels into the enterprise at some point. And then it's all in one spot.
I don't know if you want a piece of the Ryan Dangler show. I don't know.
Well, hey, I mean, Sugar Daddy is willing to do what it takes,
Should we have Strongman do our taxes? If we get a good
All right.
rate, we'll do it.
What does he charge? What does he charge for?
Yeah, good rate, we'll do it.
What does he charge for multi-member LLC tax prep if it's reasonable?
Yeah.
I'd use Strongman.
Yeah, and money laundering. All right, that's a joke, everybody. That's time to end the show. Pierre, plug anything. I know you're an avid fan of cooking as well. Plug anything you'd like, any shout outs, anything.
I'm just gonna shout out myself. PK investing on YouTube. That's the only thing I really do. I'm gonna try to upload more videos. No promises, but I will try my best to dedicate more time to it.
He'll be back, everybody. He will be back. I heard he's gonna quit his job eventually, and he's gonna go full time in YouTube.
Hey, that's the dream. That is the dream. Give me like a decade.
One QYLD upload might fix that if you come back.
Maybe I'll start pumping Yield Max. We'll see.
You should, yeah. You return of PK Invest and back in better than ever.
Oh yeah. Back to my roots.
Shout out myself for humble. All right. Thank you all for watching. Weekly recap tomorrow, or should we post that Saturday? What do you think, Fiscal? Should we post it tomorrow? Have it be a premiere? I'll join from the grad party. A few brewskis could be had. I'm joking.
Yeah, we can post it
tomorrow.
We can post it tomorrow. It's fine.
All right. It'll be out tomorrow, everybody. So thank you all for watching. Smash like and subscribe. Do Dividend Stocks, Drugs. And of course, remember, cash